Hi, my name is Jennifer Bryant. I will be doing my presentation on decision making by individuals and groups. Learning objectives is identify the steps in the decision making process, describe various models of decision making, discuss the individual influences that affect decision making, explain how groups make decisions, describe the role culture plays in decision making, and explain how organizations can improve the quality of decisions through participation. The decision-making process has 8 steps. Recognizing the problem and the need for the decision, identify the objectives of the decision, gather and evaluate data and diagnose the situation, list and evaluate alternatives, select the best course of action, implement the decision, gather feedback, and follow up. The decision-making process has programmed decision, which is a simple routine matter for which a manager has an established decision rule, which could be like scheduling lunch hours daily for employees. Non-programmed decisions is the new complex decision that requires a creative solution, like buying out another company. Effective decisions made by a manager can make an organization successful. An effective decision is timely, is acceptable to the individuals affected by it, and meets the desired objectives. There are 3 models of decision making: the rational model, the bounded reality model, and the Z problem-solving model. The rational model of decision making comes from classic economic theory and assumes the following. The outcome will be completely rational. The decision maker has a consistent system of preferences which is used to choose the best alternative. The decision maker is aware of all possible alternatives, and the decision-making can calculate the probability of success for each alternative. The bounded reality model has 4 assumptions. Manager selects the first alternative that is satisfactory. Manager recognizes that their conception of the world is simple. Managers are comfortable making decisions without determining all the alternatives, and managers make decisions by rule of thumb. The Z model has 4 steps. Examine the facts and details, generates alternatives, analyzes the alternative objectives, and weighs the impact. Each model carries its own unique limits. The decision maker's unwillingness to abandon a bad decision is a limitation that all of them share, though. Escalation of commitment is the continuing to support the failing course of action. Individual influences on decision-making involves risk, personality, attitudes, and values, which involves logic and creativity. This involves the brain that has 2 lateral halves that helps this, like the right side is the center for creativity functions, the left side is the center for logic, details, and planning. It also involves intuition, which could be hunches or unconscious levels. The creativity part of it has 4 stages, which involves preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. The Z model has 4 steps. Examine the facts and details, generates alternatives, analyzes the alternative objectives, and weighs the impact. Self-confidence, creative self-image, risk-taking, or intrinsic motivation. The organizational part deals with autonomy, teamwork, high-quality relationships between you and supervisors or you and coworkers. The individual organizational fit involves mental blocks, problem-solving, which could be responsive creativity, expective creativity, contributory creativity, or proactive creativity. The group decision-making process has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is more knowledgeable in information, increased acceptance and commitment, and greater understanding. Disadvantages is pressure to conform and fit in, the domination of one single member, and the amount of time it takes. Limits of group decision-making could be groupthink or group polarization. Techniques for group decision-making is brainstorming, nominal group techniques, devil's advocate, dialectical inquiry. These special groups can involve quality circles and quality teams or self-management teams. Diversity in culture and decision making. Culture, which could be United States, Indonesia, or Malaysia, across the country, the power distance, it can involve individualistic or collectivist, masculine or feminine, racially dissimilar, or functional background. Participating in decision making has prerequisites, which is the capability to become psychologically involved in the participative activity, the motivation to act autonomously, and the capacity to see the relevance of participation for one's own well-being.